Yo, who else fell for this morning? I can't be the only one that woke up, seen this here post saying Michael Bisping was coming back. It was him fighting on Cage Warriors. There's no way I'm the only one that fell for this. Please tell me. Tell me I wasn't the only one that fell for this. But yes, today is April Fool's. So there's been a lot of news going around in the world of MMA that is just false and lies. And I've believed every last bit of it until I actually read the comments and everyone saying that this guy's full of shit. But this here, I just wanted to add this in because I need to know I wasn't the only one that fell for this post. But this is what I want to get on to right here. We have got the UFC confirming that Dana White is going to be going live later with some important news. Now, we're going to be guesstimating what some of this might be. What I want it to be, what I don't want it to be. Yeah? Let's start off with what it needs to be. Yeah? If Dana White isn't going live tonight to announce Tom Aspinall versus John Jones, or Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev, keep the fucking news. Because those two fights right there, Ilia Islam and Tom Aspinall versus John Jones, those are the only fights that anybody cares about right now. Yeah, right, this is the things that it can't be, yeah? Let's go over the things it can't be quickly. They've just announced that they're doing a movie signed with Turki Al Sheikh, some fighter movie. See if it's the trailer for that movie. It better not be the trailer for that movie because I have got my hopes up for this, yeah? I am expecting... Ladies and gentlemen, the fight's been made. We've got Tom Aspinall, John Jones, and Ilia Topuria, Islam Makhachev, International Fight Week. Tom Aspinall, John Jones main event, Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev co-main event. That's what I'm expecting to hear on this call. Also, what it better not be, yeah, is he better not get on and go, April Fool, guys. This is serious, yeah? This is serious stuff, Senor Dana White, yeah? So, when you come on live tonight, yeah? Also, they better not have lied that he's going to be going live tonight. But if he's going to come live and go, April Fools, guys, I'd probably rather he doesn't go live because this is some important shit, yeah? There is so much on the line here. Like I said, if this isn't Tom Aspinall, John Jones being announced or Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, I don't want to hear a peep. I don't want to hear a word from this guy's mouth. But can I be honest? This is what I think is going to be announced if there is an announcement.
Bruh.
It is only a matter of time. This rematch is happening. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. Like, we know how this scenario should be playing out, yeah? We should be getting Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan 5-round co-main event on any pay-per-view card. Or, if you want to be fancy, have Petr Yan, Sean O'Malley 5 rounds, headline a fight night. Yeah, that's the fight that everybody wants to see. Let's just be complete upfront and honest with everybody. That is the fight that everybody wants to see. How has Sean O'Malley earned an immediate rematch with Merab, right? The guy beat Aljamain Sterling, and this isn't a coping session because Sean O'Malley is probably one of my favourite fighters to watch. But let's just be honest here, right? So, he didn't beat Yan first time round, if we're being honest. Had a really good account of himself, don't get me wrong. Didn't beat Petr Yan, right? He then gets the shot against Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling took the fight injured. We've seen how that whole scenario played out, the negotiations, when the UFC released that documentary. I don't understand why they released the documentary showing that because it made them come across awful, in my opinion. But the fact that Aljamain Sterling isn't this mega massive name, that's why that situation kind of got swept under the rug. But anyway, nonetheless, he knocked out the second best UFC bantamweight of all time in Aljamain Sterling. Although shaky circumstances, right? He then also, don't forget, when he beat Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley said that he wanted to be active. And then he wasn't active, and then we didn't see him to March the next year where he fought Chito Vera. Chito Vera, now, if you are new to the channel, feel free to go back and watch some of the other videos. Chito Vera is an anomaly to me. How this guy is still so highly ranked. How this guy fought for a title. He is one of life's many mysteries, Chito Vera, how he's in the position he's in, right? Sean O'Malley matches up with him, styles on him, schools him, right? So he's got a title defense over a guy that should, let's just be honest, never, ever, ever have been near a title fight, ever, right? He then gets matched up against Merab, right? He has a good account of himself against Merab at UFC 306. UFC 306 as a whole, that card was absolutely carfunkel. That card was absolutely dog's dinner. It was one of the worst cards ever. But the UFC should go back to the Sphere, in my opinion, because as a venue, it was awesome. And if they can get the card right, I think it would be absolutely mega, right? But he loses. Clearly loses. Like I said, he had a good account of himself, like he had in the Yan fight, but he still lost. Then he sets out for ages here. Merab has to take a short notice kind of matchup against Umar Nurmagomedov. Merab was injured in that matchup. The UFC kind of forced him into that, if we're being honest, right? Merab goes in there, beats Umar in a really entertaining fight, by the way. I know everyone says Merab is boring, and 9 times out of 10 in the cage he is, but that there against Umar was a really fun matchup. Sean O'Malley has yet to fight since then. So, Merab makes a quickish turnaround to fight Umar Nurmagomedov, right? Beats him, and then the UFC go, congratulations, Sean. You've earned an immediate title rematch against Merab. Bruh. So, do you want to sit down and explain to me how that makes sense? Also, the whole narrative going into this rematch now, where it's like, Sean O'Malley's off social media, bruh. He's so dialed in at the minute. Sean O'Malley is so dialed in. I don't fucking care. Give me Yan O'Malley 2 over 5 rounds. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I think the only reason we're not getting Yan versus O'Malley 2 right away is because Sean O'Malley knows how dangerous Petr Yan is. And he will not fight Yan unless there's a belt on the line. I'm just going to say that. That's what I think. Obviously, if he's getting offered the title fight, why the fuck wouldn't he? But surely the UFC have seen all the stuff going about online that everybody wants to see Yan O'Malley 2, that they're bound to have went to both guys to talk about it. Bound to. But I think there's something that I don't think O'Malley's going to fight Yan unless there's a belt on the line. But this is what I think gets announced. And what should have been for Merab should have been a super fight, him versus Pantoja. That should have been Yan O'Malley 2, Merab Pantoja. That there was the way to do it, but here we are. I'm here working a minimum wage job, living in a house. I don't know where I was going with that. Where Dana White, he's a multi-billionaire making these shitty fucking matchups that nobody cares about. Anyway, let's move on quickly. We have got Jorge Gamebred Masvidal versus Leon Edwards. Being spoken about, Masvidal says he wants to return to the UFC this year and is looking to fight Leon Edwards. Obviously, we see Masvidal hit Leon Edwards with the 3-piece and a soda. These guys have been obviously beefing ever since then. Leon Edwards, I'm going to skip what I was going to say about him because I don't have anything nice to say after wasting all my fucking hard-earned money to go watch him against Sean Brady. So I'm going to move past him, yeah. I don't care to see Masvidal back in the UFC at all. I mean, I can't shake the memory of him being beaten up by an absolutely, completely, 100% confirmed, washed Nate Diaz in a boxing ring. That isn't leaving my memory. And I know Leon looked ass against Sean Brady. Leon Edwards absolutely smokes Jorge Masvidal. I know he's looked ass in his last fight against Sean Brady. Leon Edwards absolutely pulverizes Jorge Masvidal, who is one of the most overrated fighters of all time. Don't get me wrong, very entertaining, especially that wee spot he had at the end of his career where he knocked out Aspinall. He knocked out Ben Askren, the knockout of Darren Till, which is one of my favourite knockouts of all time. The way he just switched and hit him, loved that knockout. The way he beat up Nate Diaz for the BMF title. But this guy just got fucking beat up by Nate Diaz in a boxing ring, who, before that, Nate Diaz got beat up by Jake Paul. So I don't want to see this fight at all. Although I kind of do want to see it because Leon is still my boy. You know what I mean? So I can't let go of Leon. Like, really, I should be on here saying you need to give me my fucking money back. But I can't. I can't. If you're Leon, you're all over this fight because this is easy money, man. Easy money. And the only way I think Leon ends up in a main event again, unless he ends up miraculously getting back to the title, which I don't think he ever will at this point. In fact, I don't even think this would main event a fight night card, to be honest. Maybe in the UK, but I don't even know if the UK audience would show up for Leon after the past 2 performances. But this is what Masvidal's been calling for. Again, I don't know if he's come back to the UFC. There's rumours of him and Nate Diaz and all coming back. I don't care to see either guy. Just stay where you are. Thanks very much. Let's go on to this one here. Dana White's reportedly warned Belal Muhammad's camp that if he pulls out 2nd time in a row, they will have no choice but to strip him of the belt. Now, I would understand this because Belal Muhammad hasn't fought in a very long time in July against Leon Edwards. Shout out to this guy right here. He's a gamer. He obviously understands the assignment. But he hasn't fought since then. Was meant to fight at UFC 310. Was genuinely injured against Shavkat. Had to pull out. He is fighting JDM now, UFC 315. Was meant to be Shavkat, but Shavkat pulled out due to an injury. So maybe Shavkat Belal's like the Tony Ferguson, Habib Nurmagomedov of the welterweight division. Who knows? But, and again, I understand this because Belal would essentially be holding up the division at that point. But it's one rule for one rule for another over there. So, like this guy said right here, Dana White would strip Belal Muhammad, which again, I think he's 100% right to do so if Belal pulls out injured again here. But John Jones, who is ducking the interim defending heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall, the number 1 guy, has cleared out more than half of the heavyweight division. He can keep his title, openly ducking him, and fight 1009-year-old Stipe Miocic in a fight that nobody give a fuck about. He can keep his belt then, but Belal Muhammad can't. Why is it one rule for one and one rule for another? Now, I understand that Belal's relationship with the UFC and Dana White is completely different from John Jones's because we know Jones and Dana are moving like Frank Ocean painting Talbot. So we understand that's their relationship. But if this is true, again, this was posted today, so this could be an April Fool's. This is ridiculous. Not ridiculous, I understand them doing it, but you can't do that to Belal and not do it to John. Doesn't make sense. And finally, just to round off, Benoit Saint-Denis versus Joel Alvarez, May 10th, Montreal, Canada, UFC 315. Absolute banger matchup. This will be an absolute war. I hope Benoit Saint-Denis gets it done. Bruh. I like Joel Alvarez as well. For some reason, I see Benoit winning here. I don't know why. I can't explain why. I just see it. I've got a video coming up about prospects that were pushed too soon. Benoit Saint-Denis is going to feature on that video. Yes, he is. But I'm looking forward to this. This would be like a great feature fight to that card or a main card opener. It will just be an all-out war, I think, as long as it lasts. I just see Benoit Saint-Denis beating him. And I don't know why. But if Benoit doesn't beat Joel Alvarez now, he could possibly be facing Dylan Dennis in the GFL. I'm going to be making a video, hopefully, depending on the time, as soon as Dana White announces this news, if it's anything worthwhile, which it fucking better be. So stay tuned for that. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. What do you think the announcement's going to be? What is the number 1 April Fool's Day MMA news story that you have fallen for? And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate the support. And I'll see you again in the next one.